Good day, Delray County. My name is Joseph Dixon, and I represent the state of Maryland and the Senior Chief of Logistics and as the Chief of Investigations. I want to take the time to thank each and every one of you for coming here today. I know that this is not the easiest of times and that this incident certainly does not make things easier. Before I begin, I'd like to take a quick second to thank each of the supporting roles. Thank you to the Delray County Fire Department for giving us an opportunity to work together. Your willingness to adapt to new challenges made the investigation that much smoother. Also, I want to thank the federal resources, the FBI, and the ATF. Lastly, the School Board of Delray County. I know this event has affected each of you dearly, and I hope that we can put this to rest here soon. So for those of you who are unaware, at approximately 12:20 a.m. on January 6th, 2020, the Delray County Fire Department was dispatched to Lakeside High School where a 911 call came up of a structural fire. The first crew on scene was Engine 22, who was led by Lieutenant Smith. Upon arrival, Lieutenant Smith and Firefighter Jones made entry through the Delta side of the building to begin an offensive attack. While the second crew, Engine 23, was performing defensive attack measures, the first two crew stated that in their scene size up, flames and heavy black smoke rolling out of the Alpha Delta side window. This building was constructed of Type 2 building construction. The building was older, built before 1980 with a wood frame construction and brick facade. The windows were single hung and were made of wood with a single metal latch. Investigators arrived approximately 20 minutes after the initial fire was knocked down. Overall operations began to check for the extension of the ceiling and contain a few smoldering hot spots. A large column of black soot off the exterior of the window of the Delta side of the building was partially collapsed of the roof. The heat was still present, and fallen snow had collected at least 2 inches everywhere else but this section of the building. The area of the origin had almost been completely involved with lateral spread through a door that was held by a doorstop. Other ventilation was provided by the window to the room. There were pieces of exposed copper wiring near the records room. Remains of a small space heater in the on position underneath the desk had been noted. The records of the office where the fire originated was cluttered with boxes of paperwork and open filing cabinets. Speaking with the dean to the room, and the filing cabinets were not normally left open and unsecured as they contained personal, identifiable information and financial documents. Some of the documents have been partially consumed, and the filing cabinets themselves were made of heat-resistant protected just about 1/4 of the paperwork inside. The initial hypothesis for the investigation was that the scenario was similar to at least 2 other cases of arson involving administrative offices of the school district. At this time of year, it is normal to have a small personal heater, but tampering with the suppression system is suspect to an unactivated system allowed the fire to establish and spread in the room. Smoke detectors were present and seemed to be working in order, although they are not set up automatically to notify the local fire department. The reporting party was a faculty member working late grading tests and developing the class schedule in another part of the building adjacent to the administrative office. Excuse me. The eyewitness, who will remain nameless in her statement, explained she was staying late catching up on some much-needed paperwork and developing her teaching curriculum for the after-winter break when she was startled by light disturbances, shadows from the smoke passing through a moonlit scene coming from outside her window. The classroom was in a building adjacent to and above the records office. Where she peered out the window, she saw a man walking towards his vehicle in the parking lot. Witnesses stated it was dark and she could not identify the man as she was walking away, but he could be around 6 feet tall, wearing black slacks and a light-colored button-up shirt. They were unable to confirm the color of the smoke, but it seemed like it was billowing from the failed window. This was when she called 911 as she evacuated from the east stairwell exit. So I'd like to take a few minutes to answer some of these questions that have been brought to our attention. These questions are from Colin. He states, "My name is Colin and my son goes to the school at this local high school. My wife and I are worried about sending our kids back to school. My kid is also worried about going to school at this time and point because we have a lack of trust in our faculty in the school. I'd also like to know how we can ensure that this doesn't happen again and to keep our community safe." Colin's second question is, "Who's responsible for the fire and what will be done to this member?" Well, Colin, I would like to thank you for voicing your concerns. As a parent myself, I understand your concerns for your child's safety, and we apologize for the inconvenience that this has been to you and every other family's household. I can assure you that we as a community have come together to determine the cause of the fire and will act accordingly. We believe we have enough evidence to let our court systems do what they do best and ensure that this does not happen again. As for the safety of the students of this school, we are working with stakeholders to up the security and the fire prevention measures. New sprinkler systems are going to be added and a full sweep of key rosters will be done. As for your second question, the suspect in question is James Everclean. He was arrested 24 hours after the investigation began. Everclean has been charged with 3 counts, each of felony arson, burglary of a dwelling, and a Class 3 felony embezzlement. The Delray County Sheriff's Office is the agency who made the formal arrest. A criminal search warrant was issued within a 24-hour notice. All facts pertaining to the case and the ones that eventually led to the arrest of Everclean were handed directly to the Delray County Sheriff's Office. Any evidence discovered by higher authorities such as the FBI and the state marshals were followed through with a proper chain of custody to their respective laboratories for evaluation and processing. The court finds Mr. Everclean stands accused of 3 counts of felony arson with penalties included but are not limited to up to 20 years in prison for each count, fines of $50,000 or more, and restitutions, and the same goes for all 3 counts of embezzlement of public funds. I thank you once again for your time, and I hope that we can put these matters to rest here soon. Thank you.